Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are the Lions.
May went out like a lion for the Tribe, who entered June just 2 games below 500 after a 17-12 month. The leader, without question, is Jason Kipnis, who led the world in hits in May. Second in command has been the starting pitching, a staff that gives the Tribe a chance to win every night. First up in June, the Kansas City Royals, a 3-game statement series for the Indians, and it kicks off next on Sports Time Ohio. Kansas City, Missouri, a city famous for its jazz, the blues, and its barbecue. Tonight from Kauffman Stadium, it's the Indians and the Royals opening up a big 3-game series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians come into this series with a full head of steam, taking 3 out of 4 from Seattle, and they enter the month of June playing great baseball because of one man, Jason Kipnis. In the last 100 years, he's the only guy to have a month of May in which he had 50 hits, 30 runs scored, and including 15 doubles.
Well, he's been the igniter for this offense. They've averaged 5 runs a game in the month of May, and it's a lot has to do because of Jason Kipnis. He hit the ball all over the field, from left field to right field. He was so consistent. He had 15 doubles. He had 22 extra base hits, a .429 batting average. And I got to tell you, it's something to remember, because don't expect him to have a June like that. Not many guys can go back-to-back months the kind he had, because you got to go back 15 years before the last Indian, and that was Robbie Alomar to have 50 hits in a month.
All right, so the Indians and the Kansas City Royals. So far, Kansas City has had the better of the Indians. They've won 4 out of 6. Can the Indians get that turned around? When we come back, we'll talk to Andre Knott, who tells us why the Indians' pitching could be the key to the series. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Kansas City, Missouri. Indians and Royals getting ready to open up their 3-game series here tonight. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you. Let's go down on the field and join Andre Knott. Andre, we know that the Royals have beaten the Indians 4 out of 6. Tribe's just 10-17 within the division. It's not must win, but how much emphasis is the team placing on this particular series?
Well, I know Rick thinks I'm the football guy, and he's right. I'm the football guy, and it's just June. The team thinks this is a big series for the perfect example you just made. They didn't play well versus the AL Central when they had the chance to play them back in April. They know they have to play good baseball. They look at the pitching matchups, and they say it's time for them to turn it around. And the pitching staff is where it starts with, guys. They had the 5th most strikeouts in the month of May in Major League Baseball history. The pitching can hold down the hitting for Kansas City. They feel like this could be a stepping stone to getting back to the top of the AL Central.
Well, their starting pitching has been outstanding. Carrasco's going to get after it tonight, and he's had success. He beat Kansas City here earlier this year, and he's had success in this ballpark. He's 3-0. The Indians are 4-0 when games are started by Carrasco. So he's pitching well. They're scoring 5 runs a game in the month of May. Let's hope they get started off in June on the right foot.
Carrasco's gone at least 6 innings in each of his last 6 starts, and he's had a decision in every game he has started so far this year. The Indians and the Royals ready to rumble. The play-by-play is next. In the month of May, in the gap, what a catch by Ryan Rayburn! He's out of room, it's out of here, and he got him somehow. Brandon Moss kept his foot on the base. Oh, David Murphy, how do you do? Indians and the Royals here in Kansas City. Tribe has won 7 out of 10 to move to within 2 games of the 500 mark at 24-26. Kansas City half game out of first at 29-19. Let's take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. And Jason Kipnis will be at the top of the lineup with 70 hits already this year. Carlos Santana second. Then it's Michael Brantley, Brandon Moss, Nick Swisher, Lonnie Chisenhall, Jan Gomes, Michael Bourne, and Jose Ramirez rounded out.
Our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Jeremy Guthrie, who is 4-3 on the year. And a week ago yesterday, he had his last start. It was in Yankee Stadium, and it was a humbling one. He went 1 inning, gave up 9 hits, 11 runs, and 4 home runs in that start. He was pitching very well before that. He had won his last 3 starts.
So he's going to come back. I'm sure he wants to do a lot better than he did in his last start, because his team never had a chance to win that game. And that's what you do when you're a starting pitcher. Give your team an opportunity to win.
I do wonder, though, about the lingering doubt, if any there is, in his mind after a game like that.
Well, you come home and you're back in. He's 5-5 in his career against the Indians, but he wants to prove he's better, and this is a good ballpark for him to pitch in.
Jason Kipnis stands in after a historic month of May. And his first pitch that he sees in the month of June is down low, ball 1. Now he shoots one out of play, and the count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped him up. Foul ground. Long run for Moustakas. Can he get there? He can't, and it's out of room anyway.
That wind seems like it's blowing it toward the third baseline. Let's check out the Royals defense behind Guthrie tonight. It's brought to you by Chrysler. Gordon is in the left, Kane in center. Alex Rios is back. We didn't see him yet this year. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Infante is at second, Hosmer at first, Perez doing the catching.
Now the 1-2. And a bouncing ball foul. Jason said after his historic month of May in Seattle that, the runs, scoring the runs, getting over 30 runs in the month of May, said, that's a credit to my teammates, the guys who are driving me in, getting the hits when I'm on base. And he thanked all of them for their efforts so far as that statistical category is concerned. Bill Chuck from GammonsDaily.com says that Roy Cullenbine in 1942, the only Indian to score more frequently in a month of May, he scored 32 times that year in May. I mean, the numbers that Jason put up, we're going so far back in the record books, it's incredible.
Well, it was a special month, and as far as he hopes to continue, but don't expect it, because it's tough to put him up back-to-back months. But Kipnis has done a tremendous job.
Good battle here to start the game between Kipnis and Guthrie. 8th pitch of the at-bat. And Kipnis with a liner toward left center field. Gordon on the run. He made the catch. Oh, my goodness. Alex Gordon showing the Gold Glove form as he dove into the gap and stole a double at least away from Jason Kipnis, and probably more likely a triple.
Boy, that ball had to slice back a little bit, but it was by him when he made the play. An outstanding play by Alex Gordon. Takes, as you say, at least a double away, if not 3, because where you see Kane coming into play. Oh, boy, and that's the leadoff hitter. What a nice running catch. Well, Kipnis did his job, hit it right on the nose.
And I'm sure Jeremy Guthrie breathing a huge sigh of relief.
That's the one. If he gets on now, he's starting to think again. Oh, here we go.
Carlos Santana looks at ball 1 down low. And that pitch misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes. That's called. Santana coming off a woeful month of April. He batted just .218. And he swings and misses. It's 2-2. Interestingly, when you look at Santana's numbers for April and May, He hit .239 in April, but he had only one fewer hit than he did in May. It's just that he had 12 more at bats during the month of May. Pulled foul. Take a look at Santana. Those are the overall numbers, but in April he was 17 for 71. In May he was 18 for 83.
Yeah, moving up in the lineup may have helped. Into that number 2 hole, get him more at bats.
Payoff pitch hit high in the air to right field. And Alex Rios in makes the catch. 2 down. Our window system's game time temperature tonight is 74 degrees under cloudy skies. Not much of a breeze, although it looks like it's picked up.
That did knock that ball. It was hit so high.
Yeah, it's coming in from right field now. Wind has shifted around. Michael Brantley. Four home runs, 23 driven in the month of May for Brantley. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ed Yost, already the all-time leader in games managed in Kansas City, 821. He's 8 wins shy of matching Whitey Herzog for the most in franchise history now.
And he will be managing the All-Star team this year in Cincinnati.
It's almost like sometimes our memories are skewed. We think of Whitey Herzog and you don't realize that, you know, all of a sudden here's Ned Yost and he's doesn't seem like he's been here that long.
Yeah, but Whitey went to St. Louis where he stayed for quite a while too after he left here, so that was the difference.
Took his club to the World Series, 1 game away from winning it all a year ago, and they're off to a tremendous start this year. The payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. Brantley draws a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive. Here's the keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Get to Guthrie early. That always helps. And Carlos Carrasco trying to control the thumpers, Moustakas and Hosmer, in that Kansas City lineup.
Well, they tried to get to Guthrie early, but a great play by Gordon sort of defused that.
Now Brandon Moss hitting in the cleanup spot tonight. It's the 12th start this year for Moss in the cleanup spot. He started 21 games, batting 5th. Handful of starts in the 6th and 7th spots. Brandon coming off a pretty good series against Seattle. He went 7 out of 17 with a pair of doubles, home run, scored 4 times. Upstairs, he lays off the high fastball. 2-1. Brantley at first with 2 down. Shift on the right side for Kansas City, and Moss cuts and misses at the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, got a change up there on the 2-1 count by Guthrie. Take a look at it on our Nissan pitch tracker. It's going to be going down and away. Really a pretty good pitch just off the plate. 2-1 count. He's thinking fastball.
hard to believe that Moss has only batted .210 this year against right-handed pitching. But from an average standpoint, he's had more success against the lefties. Power-wise, this is where he's had more success. And there's a long fly ball to deep right field, but Rios has room and makes the catch. And the inning is over. So Alex Gordon puts out a fire before the inning begins, stealing extra bases from Jason Kitten as now the Royals come to bat. Alcides Escobar in the leadoff spot, followed by Mike Moustakas. Lorenzo Cain hitting third. Then it's Hosmer, Morales, and Gordon in the middle. Alex Rios, Salvador Perez, and Omar Infante round it out.
Our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher Carlos Carrasco, 6-4 on the year, making his 11th start. He has had a decision in every start this year. He beat Kansas City here back on May 6th. It was a 9-3 win. He went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs in that ball game. He walked 2 and struck out 6. In his career, he's 3-4, but he's pitched very well in this ballpark. 3-0 personally. The Indians are 4-0 in his starts here.
And Carrasco delivers a first pitch strike to Alcides Escobar.
Kansas City coming off an off day as well yesterday. They were in town here. After a 1-4 trip.
Fouled off. Swing and a miss. Carrasco strikes him out on 3 pitches.
The Indians defense tonight behind Carrasco, which is brought to you by Chrysler, is Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Moss in right, Chisenhall at third, Ramirez at short, Kipnis at second, Santana's at first, Yan Gomes doing the catching.
Now here is Mike Moustakas. Moustakas is 8th in the American League with that .320 batting average.
Well, when we played these guys earlier, he was using the whole field. He was going to left field a lot, much more than he ever has in the past, and his average was up there, and that's why it's up above 300. You see, they used to really shift over 3 guys on the infield, but this year they're not doing it.
Out of plate on the left side. You think about it, and in some ways, there are similarities between Moustakas and Jason Kipnis and why they're having this success offensively. They're using the whole field.
Yeah.
Primarily going to the opposite field, but they're still able to get to the inside pitch as well.
Well, if you can prove to the pitchers that you're going to take that pitch away and go the other way, you will get pitches inside to turn on, because they have to make an adjustment. If you take that base hit, that double, and you drive it the other way, they have to try and pitch you inside to get in there and make you conscious of the whole plate. And I think that holds true with any hitter.
And the 2-2 is tapped foul.
And it's easy for hitters to get pull happy. You know, you want to, that's natural power for people. They want to hit home runs, or you're seeing the ball well. But boy, you can get into a slump in a hurry if you go just hit to one side of the field.
Well, what's impressive is that he's batting .300 this year when he has 2 strikes on him. That's 4th best in the American League.
This Kansas City team is a 2-out hitting machine. They're the best in the league.
To first, Santana has it, and he'll take it himself. 2 down. That's going to bring up Lorenzo Cain. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on Indians starter Carlos Carrasco.
You know, you guys talk about his last start here at Kauffman Stadium, and he was really good. The thing that stands out for Carrasco is he's felt like his season finally got underway that last start here. He was joking around the clubhouse before that game. If you remember, he was hitting the face in the first month of the season, and he's finally felt like his stuff was working when he came here to Kauffman Stadium to pick up that one win that the team had. Also, just a number to realize, he's worse the first time through the lineup than he is the second and third time through the lineup. So if he can get through this lineup the first time, guys are hitting just 197 after him after the first time through the lineup.
All right, like that stat.
Lorenzo Cain wants the bunt, but it's fouled.
Yeah, it's funny because when you look at these two teams between Kansas City and Cleveland, the Indians have walked 95 times more than the Royals have, and the Indians have scored 1 more run. So they've done a lot of damage with 2 outs. It's hard to believe. They don't strike out a lot. You mentioned they don't take a lot of calls. They're a very aggressive hitting team.
0-1 pitch. And first, they just roped it right to the left side of the infield between Chisenhall and Ramirez. So there is Lorenzo Cain aboard with 2 outs here in the first inning.
And that's what they do. They extend innings. Their little 2-seamer. It comes into the barrel of the bat of Cain, and he's able to hit it through the infield. But this is a guy that can run. Cain has stolen 9 out of 11 this year. But with Hosmer up, they may leave him the hole early in the at-bat.
Runner goes, and Hosmer punches it high in the air, slicing near the line and out of play, just off the sidewall, actually.
Well, they didn't waste any time. Cain took off. This is the first game that Gomes is going to be catching against the Kansas City Royals this year, but that's not going to stop him with 2 outs. He took off first pitch. Hosmer liked the pitch, and he fouled it off.
Well, I like the fact that there's more than one way to be successful, more than one way to attack offensively. We know Oakland, and for years their mantra has been take pitches, work the count, OPS, on base percentage, that type of thing. And Kansas City's saying, you know what, we're going to do it the other way. We're going to be aggressive and swing the bats. And obviously you can be successful in both ways. A lot of times it comes down to who your personnel is, right?
You got to play with the personnel and what you have. They're not a home run hitting club and won't be in this ballpark. They're 14th in the league. They have hit 37. But you know they can triple you to death. They can hit a lot of doubles. They have 95. That's 3rd in the league. They will run. They'll be very aggressive on the bases. They'll steal bases, but Carrasco shuts that down in a hurry.
Strikes out his 2nd of the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. No score after 1 in Kansas City.
Baseball is back in 2015 with the MLB.com ad bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com ad bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Nick Swisher will lead off the second here for Cleveland. Takes down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swisher batting .245 over his last 15 games, 3 doubles and a couple of home runs. And now Guthrie gets ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's tried that a couple times following that changeup where he goes inside to the left-handers. I'll tell you, it's a good pitch and it's not missing by much, but it makes the hitters conscious. Coming back in there.
Popped him up. And into foul ground goes Mike Moustakas. The Royals third baseman makes the play, 1 away. Here's our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. What a difference a month makes for the Indians. A lot of it has to do with the offense. Pitching's been better. I'd say primarily they're playing better offensively. Swinging the bat, scoring a few more runs.
Well, yes, they had to. April was a tough month for them.
Lonnie Chisenhall looks at the ball.
Boy, and like any team in baseball, when you're not scoring runs, you look dead. You don't look very like, anything's working. I mean, you can pitch a good game. Kluber pitched a number of good games early and never got him any run support. And that happened to a number of the Indians pitchers. But once you get those guys a few runs, Carrasco's in the same boat. Get them a few runs. Those guys will hold on.
Down and in. Ground ball wide at first. Hosmer with a good scoop and a perfect flip. 2 down. You know, Rick, maybe it's because you don't see a lot of drafted first basemen who are developed and get to the big leagues. But when you watch a guy like Hosmer play the position defensively, very smooth. Not many plays that he can't make over there.
Well, I mean, it's a natural. He looks like a natural over there. He makes it look easy. The left-handed, he's a big guy. He's tall. He can pick it. He's got great hands, and he's an aggressive first baseman. You know how some guys sit over there and they don't play their position. This guy can do it all. He can dive. He makes great plays. He's not afraid to throw to certain bases.
Well, I think he plays the position with confidence.
Yeah, no question. This Kansas City plays defense with confidence.
Yan Gomes takes a strike, 1-1.
You know, if they make errors, a lot of times they're very aggressive errors, and they get to balls that a lot of teams don't get to.
Off-speed pitch misses. 2-1 to count.
You know, they have a great bullpen. I think their starters, they could be looking for starters. They need help there in that category. This is the last year for Jeremy Guthrie, ending a 3-year deal.
Gomes smacks one to center, but Lorenzo Cain is there to make the grab, and the Indians go 1-2-3. No score, middle of the second. Well, Friday night we return home to Progressive Field. The Orioles will be in town. It's going to be Dollar Dog Night. Also, fans can enjoy Pepsi products for just $1 as well. After the game, there'll be a post-game fireworks show, which is presented by Wayside Furniture. Just go to Indians.com for the ticket details. That's Friday night. Baltimore coming to town. Right now, Kendry Morales coming to the plate. Royals DH off to a solid start, batting .304 with 6 homers, 37 runs batted in, and 15 doubles.
This guy has been a great sign for these Royals here early. Sitting in the middle part of the lineup as a switch hitter, protecting Hosmer, Gordon.
To left field, long run back. Brantley on the track, at the wall, it's over his head, hits off the fence. And into second base with a leadoff double is Kendry Morales.
Yeah, he drives that ball the other way. He had Michael turned around. When left-handers drive it over your head, not many guys can do this, but he got a high fastball, belt high out over the plate. And look at, he had Brantley turned around. That ball's coming over, but he smoked it. Michael couldn't have made a catch on it. He just hit it too far. Drove that. That was not a good pitch by Carrasco. So they'll get the leadoff double. And we'll see if they can fundamentally get him over, get him in.
Well, Alex Gordon will be the batter. And he takes low, ball one. Well, when you're talking about Eric Hosmer, Kendry Morales, and Alex Gordon, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Kansas City, this is about as good a middle of the order as there is in baseball right now. That trio among 4, 5, and 6 hitters ranks first in the majors in batting average, third in runs batted in, second in extra base hits. That's what they get paid to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
On him in between.
Run production. This was a guy that for years led off for this Kansas City ball club. And then it was last year where Ned Yost started to insert him in the number 3 hole. And then all that changed. Now he's dropped down to the number 6 hole.
And Carrasco falling behind him 3-1 with 3 consecutive right-handed batters to follow Gordon. Actually 4 if you conclude the top of the order in Escobar. And the 3-1. A little off-speed pitch, looked pretty good. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it's ball 4, and the Royals have their first 2 on. Arcia in the driver's seat tonight. Shows you that in the American League Central Division. Combined best record in the majors.
Huh. Okay, I like that stat. And we feel that this is probably the best division it is in this league.
Right now Chicago bringing up the rear, 3 games below 500. Yeah, I mean everybody's right there.
I'm surprised Chicago is just 3 games below the 500 mark the way they've been hitting the baseball.
Here's Alex Rios. Missed a significant chunk of the season earlier. Just came back on Sunday. He got hit by a pitch on April 14th in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was watching. It was against the Minnesota Twins. It was their young rookie reliever.
Suffered a broken hand.
He was, you know, it was just the first week or 2 of the season, so he got hurt, but he was off to a good start. And he fits into this lineup nicely, too. The veteran. He's always had those hands down. Look how tight they are now inside.
And Carrasco falling behind 2-1. Yeah, looks a little different, Rios.
Well, his hands have always been down, but it's almost like he starts them in now more. You see, they used to start there and then he'd bring them back. Now when the pitcher comes ready to get set, he pulls them back.
Way out in front, 2-2.
Good pitch right there. I'll tell you right now, he'd love to get that slide to get a double play ball. With the first 2 reaching here.
Strikes him out. First out of the inning, 3rd K for Carrasco.
Yeah, a couple of good sliders to retire him. He was going to stay away. He saw the swing. He took it the last slider. That was just down. It was in a great spot away, and he wasn't going to reach it. Wasn't going to reach it. Now this guy missed some time, so he's starting all over again, a lot like Yan Gomes. So Carrasco gets the first out of the inning. Now you got a guy, Perez, who you talk about an aggressive hitter.
Though when we saw him earlier this year,
He
not
was more
as
patient.
aggressive.
I agree. He was laying off pitches early. He would swing at anything and everything
Fouls on
last
play.
year. But he's been good with 2 outs this year. One of the better ones on the team. You can see he got off to a great start. 326, that batting average. But this guy catches every day. For the most part, catches every inning.
No, he's 8th in the league in batting average with runners in scoring position. So this is when he's been at his best this year for Kansas City. 1-1 to count. Batting .377. Right there you have it.
Well, you get him to hit it on the ground, and you've got a double play ball.
Popped him up.
That should stay in play.
Santana makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
He comes back with a slider. Look, it starts on the outside edge, and it just starts going down. That started out a strike. It stayed a strike, and that's pretty much a perfect pitch. That's all that Perez could do with it. He popped it up into foul territory, and Carrasco gets a big second out.
You know, 4 starts ago, you go back to that game when the Indians were playing down in Texas, and the Indians bullpen was kind of on fumes.
Right.
And Carrasco pitched the complete game. He gave up 5 runs, took the loss, but Terry Francona said he knew what we needed as a team and took it upon himself to go out there and gut it out and pitch the entire game. And how about the fact that since then he's gone out and thrown back-to-back starts in which he's given up a total of 3 runs, 6 innings, 8 innings in Cincinnati,
he goes out
and
there.
Texas again.
Yeah.
Speaks a lot about the growth
Exactly.
and the maturity
Yeah.
of a guy who was very immature early in his days, and it cost him.
It took him a while to figure it out. He's 28 years old now, and we watched him for 5 years. Didn't know if he wanted to start him, put him in the bullpen, go back and forth. He had, of course, he had surgery, but boy, he's fun to watch pitch right now because he does get it, and he has great stuff.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Infante chased one in the other batter's box. Tough play for Gomes. Santana scoops it out at first, and the inning is over. A thrilling strikeout to end the second. Infante wailing away at a ball that was nowhere near the plate. And then Gomes pounces on the loose baseball and throws it out to end the inning. out that ended the inning.
I can't figure out what's Infante doing there. He sees the ball's in the dirt. Look at him slow down, and he was looking behind him like there was something there. You swung, you missed. You got to bust it down the line, man. That's your only opportunity. But Gomes comes up. It was a nice pick by Santana to retire him.
Almost like he expected it to be an easy play for Gomes. So
well, I guess he didn't realize how far away it rolled from him.
Bourne knocked off the plate. 1-1 to count. Bourne, since moving out of the leadoff spot, has batted .293 in 31 games. Two and two. On Sunday in Seattle, he was 2 for 6 with 2 singles and a run batted in. Hits one high in the air to right field. Back is Rios. One away.
Big ballpark. A lot of outfield to cover. This has to be the most spacious outfield in all of baseball. And it doesn't carry very well either. You may get a couple of days where it's nice, warm, and humid, and the ball will jump, but for the most part, it doesn't.
Jose Ramirez.
Jeremy Guthrie, as a matter of fact, is 20 and 15 in this ballpark over 45 starts.
Popped him up on the infield. That'll be the catcher, Perez. 2 down. Here's our great clip of the game from Sunday. Jason Kipnis notching his 50th hit in the month of May. And then later in the game, he would come around and score his 30th run of the month. Let's put him in some very neat company.
You're thrilled to death that he had the opportunity, because when you get that close to something, it took extra innings for him to score that 30th run, but he did it. Robbed of a double in his first at bat by Alex Gordon in left field to start the game off. At least 2, possible 3. 22 extra base hits in the month as well. Yeah, I think 22 hits in a month is pretty good, let alone extra base.
Yeah, right. 1-0 pitch.
You know, because you think about it, if you figure 30 hits a month, that's 180 hits on the year. Not many guys get 180 hits on the year.
Swung on and missed. It's 2-1.
That's been his pitch tonight so far. Changeup when you're looking for that fastball. See if he tries to follow it back up with a fastball in.
He did, but it's off the plate.
That's what I'm doing. I mean, that's the pattern I see he's throwing. They're throwing that changeup, and he gets you to swing at it. Then they're following it up with a heater in. At least a left-hander anyway.
Weak ground ball hit to short. Escobar had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. Close play. But Kipnis is retired, and the Indians go 1-2-3. No score, middle of the 3rd in Kansas City. Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. No score, bottom of the third, and the top of the order due up now for Kansas City. Our Levin Furniture player profile on Alcides Escobar. International free agent, originally signed by the Brewers. Came to Kansas City in the big Zach Greinke deal.
How about that deal? Lorenzo Cain and Escobar. Nice.
Venezuelan native. He grew up a big fan of Omar Vizquel.
Well, he's a tremendous shortstop. He plays the game very well. He can pick it. He's got a very good arm. You know, I like him at the top of the lineup. He can do a lot of different things with the bat for playing every day as a shortstop.
Right back to Carrasco. One away. And that'll bring up Mike Moustakas, who grounded out his first time up. Indians have never lost with Carrasco on the mound as a starter here in Kansas City. 4-0. Moustakas a ground ball to first base in the first inning. Now he breaks his bat and lines one into right field.
Yeah. Sure did. It got in on the hands and it cracks the bat of Moustakas. But he fights it off, muscles it into right field. It was elevated a little, but it was down around the trademark. So a 1-out single.
And it will bring up Lorenzo Cain, who's another one of those aggressive swinging Royals batters. I mean, if it's in the zone, chances are he's not going to take it. And I don't know, Rick. I mean, obviously it's the end results that matter most. But so many times it seems like you see hitters take a perfectly good fastball in the heart of the plate for a first pitch strike or a second pitch strike.
Well,
and
you got to think of the thought process. Some guys don't like to swing early in the count. I don't know.
Yeah.
And some guys, they love it. You can't teach it. You're either aggressive. You can teach them discipline. You have to teach them game plans.
Gomes couldn't find it, and Moustakas is going to get the second. That's aggressive base running by Mike Moustakas, because he couldn't tell initially that Gomes wasn't going to be able to find that ball quickly. So he took a chance.
Well, it's down, and Gomes couldn't. It's just barely. It goes off the glove. You see, he thought it went behind him.
And watch Moustakas take off pretty much right away.
Once he picked it up and he realized that Gomes didn't know where it was, he was able to score. Gomes would have probably just held on to that ball. But an extra base here on a wild pitch.
Right at the second baseman, Kipnis.
He stopped between
and
second
there are
and
two
third.
Down. That would have been a double play had Moustakas
Yes, it would have.
not advanced on that wild pitch. Now he's at third with two away.
I mean, Moustakas just froze here. That's the right side. You're going. He just stops for whatever reason. You're just going to take the out anyway. But that would have been a double play ball. You're right.
So Eric Hosmer steps to the plate, struck out his first time up. Line to center. Bourne will have to play it on a bounce, and the Royals take the lead. 32nd RBI on the year for Eric Hosmer. It's 1-0 Kansas City.
And that's the difference, man. They take advantage of getting that extra base in this inning. 41% of the runs Kansas City has scored. 92 of their 224, now 93, have come with 2 outs. He jumped on that first fastball. He wasn't going to spot it. There you go. Get after it. He liked it. 2-out base hit. Kansas City has a 1-0 lead.
You have to know that when you face this team, they are not going to take get me over pitches. Kendry Morales doubled to left his first time up. Doubled off the wall. He drove it over Michael Brantley's head. Morales batted only .218 for Minnesota and Seattle last year after he held out until June the 9th. The Royals, however, signed him to a 2-year, $17 million deal in the offseason. And at age 32, a lot of people were raising their eyebrows. But what the Royals knew from the people they talked to was that they didn't feel it was a case where he had lost it or that he was on the downside. It's more a case that his timing was off, and he just needed to. I mean, he tried to break in last year
at this time of year.
Pitchers were peaking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He started his year June 9th, and it's not even here yet.
Yeah.
You wait till next week, and that's when he started his spring training. He didn't go to spring with anybody, so you can't play catch up like that because you're lost. Now you're losing 2 months of the season. And that's obviously what they felt. And they said, well, if he has a good spring training, they'll get him a lot of at-bats. It'll work out. And it certainly has.
One of the special assistants for Kansas City that was high on Morales was Jim Fregosi Jr., who told Dayton Moore, look, his bat speed's fine, just the timing isn't there. And Brian Pena, who had played for Kansas City, knew a lot about him because they're both from Cuba.
But what it does, it's the veteran presence in the middle part of the lineup that takes heat off these younger hitters. The guys that they've been waiting to produce for years. Your Hosmers, Moustakas, now Gordon. These guys, you put a veteran presence in the middle of those guys, and it makes their job a lot easier, and it shows. They're #1 in the league in batting average at .278 this year.
Well, remember, Morales replaces Billy Butler, who left to sign with Oakland when he got a 3-year, $30 million deal. Their first choice, they tried to go after Torrey Hunter. Swing and a miss. Carrasco gets out of the inning, striking out Morales. It's his 5th strikeout tonight. But the Royals strike first on the 2-out RBI hit by Eric Hosmer.
take place on Saturday the 6th. The Indians will take on the Baltimore Orioles, and 17,000 fans will get Cy Kluber's bobblehead, courtesy of Sugardale. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
One nothing Kansas City as we go to the 4th now. Carlos Santana to lead off for the Tribe. Then Michael Brantley and Brandon Moss. Santana flied to right, his first time up. He has got those pant legs rolling all the way
amazing,
up,
isn't it?
above the kneecaps.
That's an ugly look for me.
Now the 2-0. Hard hit ground ball, but right there is Hosmer to scoop it up. One away. Oh, rainbow action. Up beyond right field.
That's right. See it.
Michael Brantley walked his first time up.
The only Indian to reach base, at least to this point.
Does not appear to be the same Jeremy Guthrie who was knocked out in the first inning against New York.
He would have been nowhere to be found at this point in the game. Yeah, that has to be a humbling experience when you go in, and he was pitching well. He won his 3 previous games before throwing the rubber in New York, and he had success against New York in the past, and you go in there and boy, you give up 8 in the first and then don't get out of the second.
Indians have had a lot of balls at Rios tonight, and he's caught every single one of them. 2 down. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on Royals starter Jeremy Guthrie.
You know, just to play off what Rick said, it's not like he was pitching bad before he went to New York. He had an ERA of 1.96 in his 4 starts before that start in New York. But he's a fly ball pitcher, as you guys have talked about. And tonight, when you look at it, most of the outs have been through the air. And in this ballpark, it fits his style.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium doesn't.
Yeah, it plays well here. This is a good ballpark to pitch in, Andre. And, you know, fly balls to right field in Yankee Stadium. We'll get our look at that for 4 games this year in the heat of the summer. And the ball does fly out of there.
He's had 2 really bad starts. That last one against the Yankees, he had one here against Detroit, in which they got him for 6 runs on 11 hits in 6 innings. But you know, outside of those 2 starts, everything else has been fine. But those 2 starts are a big reason why his ERA is fast approaching 7. The 1-1 to Brandon Moss. Out of play.
Well, Kansas City needs starters to step up now. Duffy's on the disabled list. You know, Shields, who was here and their main man last year, is no longer. He's out in San Diego as a free agent. Their bullpen's lights out. That's why these guys, if they can play for 6 innings, they check on that swing by Moss and do not get the call. They really shorten the game into a 6-inning game. You're going to see a breaking ball down.
Moss tees off and crushes one foul on the right side. Eight homers, 28 runs driven in. 11 doubles. 2-2 pitch. In off the plate, full count. Royals have that shift with 3 on the right side. And the payoff. Fouls it off of his foot. right off the pad.
Well, that's why he has it there, and it still hurts. But
would hurt a lot more without it.
Yes, you're exactly right. It sure would. Boy, if you've ever done that, you realize it hurts. It hurts a lot.
And the payoff pitch. It's pop foul out of play. There's pretty much not a single instance of you banging your shin on something where it doesn't cause instant pain.
Yeah, I know.
And again the 3-2 and pop up foul again. Nick Swisher would be next if Moss keeps the inning alive here. Got a pretty good battle going with Guthrie, who's fast approaching 70 pitches on the night, with 2 down here in the 4th inning. Slow breaking ball, and that's fouled off.
Yeah, he's tried everything. He almost got him to chase that breaking ball down in the zone earlier, and then he fouled one off his leg, fouled one up in the stance, fouls another curveball off. So working hard.
This time Moss crushes it to deep right field, and Rios can't catch that one. Into the bullpen it goes, and we are tied at 1.
That was a tremendous at bat there. He fouled off some very good pitches and lived to get a fastball, and Guthrie finally made a mistake.
It's his 9th home run of the year, and it came on the 11th pitch of the at bat.
Well, it answers the run that the Royals put on with 2 outs. The Indians come back with 2 outs of their own. That was a really good at bat. He made Guthrie work. Guthrie gives up his 10th homer, and the Indians come right back and tie the game. Good at bat. Great at bat.
And it will bring up Nick Swisher now. 9 homers, 29 driven in now for Moss on the year. And Swisher fouls it back. And you're right, Rick. I mean, he saw everything Guthrie had to offer in that at bat.
Yeah, he worked hard. He didn't mind fouling one off his leg there.
Can't even feel it now.
Now it feels really good. He didn't have to run hard on it. He could limp around the bases. You know, he hit one foul quite a ways. You don't see that too often, when you hit one out of the ballpark foul and come back and hit one in the same at bat.
Kane runs it down, and the inning is over, but not before Brandon Moss mashes one to the Tribe's bullpen, tying the game at 1, middle of the 4th. 1-1 our scores. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Our T-Mobile game changers. Jason Kipnis, Corey Kluber. Second pair of teammates in the last 100 years. With 50 hits and 60 strikeouts.
Yeah, we can't discount the Klubs, man. He had a good month as well. He'll be pitching tomorrow in the middle game of this 3-game series here in Kansas City. And he's 0-2 this year against him, so he's got to come back and try and get himself a win.
Alex Gordon will lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Royals. Walked his only time up in the second. Fouls this pitch over to KC's dugout. Royals couldn't beat the Cubs in Wrigley, but Alex Gordon certainly did his part. Sunday he had 3 hits. And also threw out what could have been the winning run in the 11th when he nailed Dexter Fowler at the plate. He also drove in Kansas City's only run, which is 500th career RBI. No balls, 2 strikes. And almost got him to offer at it, but held up. The 1-2. Down and in. And the 2-2 offering. Got him looking.
Nice slider.
And that's a half dozen Ks already for Carrasco.
Well, Carrasco's got the slider working today. Let's check him out on slow motion. Look at the little red dot you see there. That ball starting down at the knees. You can see that little circle on the baseball, can't you?
You sure can.
As a hitter, that's what you look for. You try and zone in, and you can see it's the slider. But he's thrown some very good ones. There's a one with 2 strikes to get Morales his second time up. Already 6 strikeouts here, and we're just in the 4th inning. It's been a very good pitch for him tonight. And you can see in shutdown innings for Carlos Carrasco in his 13 innings, giving up 5 hits and just 1 run with 15 strikeouts. And that's what the Indians did. They came back. Guthrie didn't have a shutdown inning. You're looking for Carrasco to have one here. Just to get your team back in there, get that offense going again. That was the only hit that Guthrie allowed, was the home run to Moss, but what a great at bat it was. He earned it.
Man, here's the 0-2 to Rios. Almost got him to pull the trigger on that slider that was out of the zone.
Well, he got him the first time. Rios was hitting with runners on first and second and nobody out, and he threw 2 beautiful sliders to get him to swing and miss it the last 2 in that at bat.
One back out there. That one backed up over the plate and fouls it back.
Tried to heat him up in. See, Rios he missed some time, so he's on that program like Yan Gomes. You're playing catch up. Especially when you have the hand injury.
And again, he lays off a slider, 2-2. That fastball was way off the plate, so Rios showing patience and a good eye here. Worked it to count full. And he walks him.
Well, he's able to lay off everything that Carrasco threw after that.
Time now for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pulaski. All right, thanks, Al. 1-1 our score here. We're in the fourth. Alex Rios at first. Salvador Perez digs in. And he lines the first pitch in the left field.
Well, Perez knew Carrasco, after walking Rios, he had him down the count 1-2, was going to come out and try and get ahead. And he was waiting for a fastball. They wanted it away. It leaks back over to the inner part of the plate, and he takes advantage of it. He gets the base hit. So they will have runners again at first and second, but with one out.
And Omar Infante, the batter, struck out his only time up to end the second inning. That came in a similar situation with 2 men on base. Right back to the screen. Again, another first ball swinging Royals hitter.
They're not going to spot you. Why not? You get a fastball to your liking first pitch, jump on it.
In the dirt. Good block by Gomes. 1-1.
This is a Kansas City offense. If they go up to the plate and get in the batter's box, they hit to take. You know, they're looking for that baseball, and if they can hit it or they feel they can put it in play, they're going to get after it. If they can't, they take it, and then you move on. So hit to take, don't take to hit.
Broke his bat, and the ball is just foul in front of the bag.
He may have to get 2 new thumbs as well. I mean, that lost a big chunk of that bat on the handle. This is going back in his first at bat. He swung and he looked back, didn't run up hard to first base. His second at bat, he just had to go back and get another piece of lumber.
Chased one again, strikes him out. That's 7 for Carrasco.
Quick work there.
2 down on the inning.
This will be our Circle K strikeout coming here. Carrasco's 7th, a slider. He got him to chase one before. We just showed you that. He gets him another time, swing it one out of the strike zone. There are 2 outs now, and that'll turn it back over to Escobar, top of the lineup.
Escobar struck out on the first, tapped one back to the mound in the third. Fly ball left field, routine. Michael Brantley makes the catch, and the Royals strand a pair. After 4, we're deadlocked at 1.
Northern Ohio Honda dealers. By the Cleveland Clinic. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough.
1-1 as we go to the 5th at Kauffman Stadium. And for Cleveland, it will be Lonnie Chisenhall, Yan Gomes, and Michael Bourne due up. Breaking ball down low. Lonnie grounded to first his first time up. Good location on that fastball. Guthrie went to the outside part of the plate. And Chisenhall couldn't meet it. 2-2. And he takes one
right down the middle.
The pike.
Yes, he did.
That's the first strikeout tonight for Guthrie. Our in-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. It was a 2-out RBI single by Eric Hosmer in the third. He got the Royals on the board first. Indians countered in the fourth with a 2-out solo homer by Brandon Moss. And that has been it so far tonight. There's Yan Gomes, who flied to center his first time up. Gomes coming off his best game since returning from the disabled list. Sunday in Seattle. He had 2 hits. Both of them were singles. One to left, one to right. He also drew a walk in the game. But as you say, it's very tough for a player to go down early in the season, miss a considerable chunk of time, and then you come back just as everybody else is sort of hitting their stride, and you're back at the finish line.
Yeah, it takes you a while to get a feel, to get it rolling, to just get your zone back, to get back into the swing of things. You know, when you're playing and you're an everyday guy, when you take days off, sometimes they're tough. You get into that groove, and it doesn't matter if you're tired. You work your way through it.
To put it in a little different perspective, take Kendry Morales, for example. We've talked about him from the Royals. He wasn't even in an injury situation last year. He was healthy.
Right.
But he came back in June last year to start his season, and he hit barely over 200 the rest of the year.
He scuffled. He really did.
So you add to that the injury factor, and it's very difficult for a guy like Yan Gomes to try to get it back on track. Not that he won't, not that he can't.
Oh, he'll get it rolling. You just hope it's sooner than later.
The payoff pitch. Fouled right back. And Alex Rios is in the same boat with Kansas City. If you take a look at the players' numbers, let's see. 39 at bats for Gomes, Rios 32. Yeah, they had similar.
Missed about the same amount of time.
Payoff pitch. Slow breaking ball popped up.
Boy,
foul.
that's one. Look at Gomes. He's shaking his head. He had one to hit there, and he's talking to himself now. And that's the thing. I mean, you put more pressure on yourself. You think you should be doing things, and that's a hanging breaking ball down the middle. And watch him.
Yep.
He's talking to himself. He's got to walk out of that batter's box. He can't believe it. So, you know, you put pressure on yourself to be better than what you are in such a short period of time. You expect more of yourself.
This one's popped to right field. And Rios will make the catch 2 down. Let's get on to Andre with more on Gomes.
Well, I'm talking to Yan Gomes before the game. He feels great after playing back-to-back games on Saturday and Sunday. Said he walked around Kansas City yesterday and felt fine. But the thing he did throw in, Rick, he said playing in back-to-back games and playing 12 innings on Sunday, he says he is starting to feel more comfortable at the plate. He's not all the way there, but he says it felt good to play back-to-back games because he was able to see a lot of pitches when he was in the box.
Yeah, keep getting back in the batter's box. It's repetition.
Michael Bourne cuts and misses. Indians only have 2 base runners so far tonight. A walk by Brantley with 2 outs in the first, and the solo homer by Moss. And Guthrie has really stymied the Indians so far here tonight.
Well, he's mixed his pitches. For the most part, he's been ahead in the count. The breaking ball, the change-ups, moved the fastball around. A lot of pop-ups.
Line to first, and the inning is over. We will go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 1. As we go now to the bottom of the 5th. For Kansas City, Moustakas, Kane, Hosmer due up. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Carlos Carrasco. He's still looking for his first 1, 2, 3 inning of the night. Fouled right back. His counterpart, Jeremy Guthrie, has retired the side in order 3 out of the 5 innings he has pitched. Two quick strikes on Moustakas, who singled and scored Kansas City's only run in the 3rd. They were benefited by a wild pitch that was really just some aggressive base running by Moustakas.
Yes.
Up and away. Boston cooled off Minnesota, beat the Twins 1-0. Clay Buchholz blanking Minnesota. Moustakas fouled on the right side. Carrasco with a 1-2. Just missed outside, and that'll leave in the count. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out, and that's 8 strikeouts now for Carrasco. Today's injury report brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk and Elk. Adrian Beltre with a sprained left thumb on the DL in Texas, calling up Joey Gallo. How'd he do tonight in his major league debut?
How about that?
Pretty good.
Single, double, homer, 4 ribs. Wow, is that game over? Or does he have a chance for a cycle?
I think they're still playing.
I'll bet that's never been done before.
Texas
cycle in
is,
your first major league game.
Texas is whipping Chicago. 7-2.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, they're only in the 6th inning.
Okay, you'll get another at bat. That's a way to come in. Just run through the doors.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Nothing in 2 to count. High, chase pitch, nothing doing. Kane a base hit in the first, grounded out in the third. A little bit wide of the zone. Oakland leading Detroit 5-3. They're in the 8th inning in the Motor City. And a 2-2 offering. Foul back.
Kane has been a guy that's really settled into this number 3 hole for the Kansas City Royals. He's done a good job. Quickly emerged onto the scene.
5th in the league in runs scored with 35, right behind Jason Kipnis.
Yeah. He's developed into a pretty darn good hitter.
Now the 2-2. Chop towards third. Chisenhall flips it to first. Santana comes off the bag and applies the tag, and there are 2 down. Go back down to Andre.
You know, we talk about Carlos Carrasco. The strikeout has been big for him on the road. He came in today ranked 5th in Major League Baseball with 11.15 K per 9 innings on the road. That talks about his maturity. He already has 8 tonight, guys, and they're all swinging.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, Andre. He tends to get better as the game goes on, and this is his 3rd time through the lineup, and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down or losing any of his stuff. If anything, Ricky looks a little bit sharper now.
Well, he's mixed in a really good fastball and slider tonight. More so, I haven't seen as many changeups coming from him as I've seen in the recent games. But if it wasn't for a wild pitch, they wouldn't be on the board. This is the guy that drove in the run with 2 outs back in the 3rd inning. Eric Hosmer.
Three balls, no strikes. These are the counts that I'm interested in with Kansas City, as aggressive as they are.
Well, this is a guy, if he's swinging the bat well, you'll turn him loose if he wants. But you know, for the most part, if nobody's in scoring position, you'd like to get base runners. But when you got a power guy that can get up and hit one out of the ballpark and give you the lead, you'll turn him loose.
Took the 3-0 pitch. Now Carrasco's 3-1. Beautiful. Off speed. Full count.
Comes back with a 3-1 change here. See the sign. Gomes gives it a little higher, but boy, that was right at the knees, down at the bottom part of the strike zone.
And the payoff pitch. Pulled foul. Outfield a little bit toward left for Hosmer, but primarily they play him straight up. Chisenhall well off the line at third. And the 3-2. Popped back out of play. Rounded up the middle. Kipnis with a diving stop. Gets up and fires a strike to first to end the inning. Jason Kipnis with an all-out diving stop up the middle. Takes a hit away from Hosmer. And we go to the 6th. Tied at 1. For you and 3 of your friends. Upload photos to foxsports.com/fantastic all-star through tomorrow. And Jeremy Guthrie goes to work here in the 6th inning of a 1-1 ball game. Speaking of the all-star game, in the latest results released on Monday, Jason Kipnis went from unranked to 4th among American League second basemen. Michael Brantley is 7th among all-star outfielders in the AL.
What do they have? 5 Royals that were leading the way here in Kansas City. I think Gordon and Moustakas and Perez and Hosmer and maybe even Escobar.
Well, the shame of it is, and I understand Jose Altuve because he had a remarkable year last year, but Omar Infante is ahead of Kipnis. Come on.
Well, these people are averaging 31,000 people a game.
You think that has something to do with it?
Maybe.
Get out and vote for Tribe fans. Get Kip to the All-Star game. Jose Ramirez with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Now the 2-2. And a chopper foul, not by much, but Ramirez confident it would stay foul, never left the box.
This is the time when you'd love to see Ramirez get on base here, leading off an inning. You know, he's batting for the second time, but you're rolling it over for the third for the top part of your lineup, and he can create a little energy on the bases.
Slaps it foul the other way.
But boy, he is. It's been few and far between.
Just never seems to be able to get any sort of traction. He had that one little spurt, 4 or 5 games up in Chicago. He's batting the 2-hole, but that's been about it. Pops another one.
That's an easy out for him. They'd love to see him hit the ball in the air like that. Let's go back to this McDonald's. I'm loving it. Jason Kipnis, a really good play to get out of the last inning, taking a hit away from Eric Hosmer, going to his belly, to his right, gets up quickly, fires a strike, and inning over. Nice job, nice play.
So far tonight at the dish, 0 for 2. Man, he was absolutely robbed his first time up. Alex Gordon made a tremendous catch in deep left center.
Well, when that happens to you too, as a player, believe me, you're saying I'm not giving up anything either. I'm going to take hits away from people. That upsets you.
Kansas City just now getting the bullpen busy as Guthrie closes in on 100 pitches for the night.
Well, he's been a totally different guy in this start than he has in his last one, coming 1 week ago yesterday.
Kipnis pops one to left center. Gordon over, makes the catch. Well, first time through the lineup, the Indians did not have a hit. They had one guy reach by the walk. Second time through the lineup, they had one hit. It was the homer by Moss. And now he's going through the lineup for the third time. As we look back, the play Gordon made to start the game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of balls hit in the air. Gordon 1, 2. He's had a couple of plays over in right field. Rios. Gordon's had 3. Rios has had 5.
I got 10 fly ball outs.
Yeah.
And 2 pop-ups. One to third foul, one to the catcher foul. Santana continues to wail away, swinging for the fences. 0 for 2 on the night. He flied to right in the first, grounded out to first base in the fourth. Guthrie gets ahead 1-2. That's a fastball low and away. Guthrie staring in. He wanted it, but it was maybe just off the plate. You can see Perez trying to do his best to frame it up.
Yeah, that had some movement running away. It looks good, but it was a little bit outside, maybe a ball width or so off the plate. Doesn't seem like much, but it is.
And a breaking ball. Wow, that was one to hit. That looked like it had some hang to it.
Not where he was out in front. He's trying to pull everything. He almost hit that ball twice. Goes straight down and then on his backswing. He has a long swing right now.
Hits that one a long way. Deep right field. Rios back on the track. It's over his head and off the wall. Santana will go into second base with just his 7th double on the year, and it comes with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Well, this ball gets over the head of Rios and off the wall. Matter of fact, that was a pitch middle in that he was able to turn on. That's a mistake pitch made by Guthrie. And I think he's going to be done because they're going to go get a left-hander.
To the mound.
After giving up 2 hits, he made a mistake on Santana there, left him a pitch to handle. So a 2-out double will call it a night for Guthrie. But a nice job in his 5 2/3 innings. Just 2 hits. Both of them coming with 2 outs.
It's our Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen as Jeremy Guthrie departs, having allowed 1 run on just 2 hits tonight.
You can visit Indians.com/season tickets for complete details.
Well, Franklin Morales, left-hander, coming on. And for the Royals so far this year, he's a perfect 3-0 in 18 appearances. He's walked 4, struck out 12 in his 20 innings of work, but the opposition is only hitting a .192 against him. And Michael Brantley will be the batter.
Well, Morales so far in 4 games against the Indians this year. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings, giving up 7 hits and 5 runs. But he's coming out to try and, it's only the 2nd hit, but trying to get out of this inning and keep it a 1-1 ball game.
Brantley turns out of the way. Two down. Santana the go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 6th. And Brantley squibs one, foul the other way. Checks on a high pitch to even the count of 2-2. With that walk back in the 1st inning, Brantley has now reached base via a hit or a walk in 38 of his 44 starts this year. He has at least a hit in 33 of those games. Oh, that one was up and in. 3-2. That'll get your attention a little bit.
Yeah, you're sitting maybe looking for a breaking ball down and away, and then all of a sudden you get the chin music. Fastball up and in.
And the payoff pitch. Brantley sends one in the air to center field. Kane will make the catch. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 1.
On Sunday, it'll be KeyBank Kids Fun Day out at the ballpark, and 5,000 kids will get a T-shirt courtesy of UH Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Plus, kids can run the bases after the ball game. Get your tickets today at Indians.com.
Kendry Morales to lead off the bottom of the 6th for Kansas City. He doubled in the 2nd inning, but was stranded at second base. Struck out to end the 3rd. Pops the first pitch back out of play here.
Pitch.
Quickly the count is 0-2. Just missing. A ball and 2 strikes. That ball high and deep to right field. Moss over into the corner and makes the catch for out number 1. I think everybody in the ballpark thought it was going to be out of here.
Well, I know Carlos Carrasco took a long peek down the line saying knock that ball down. He hit it high. And, you know, it's the shortest part. He went up and in with a fastball, and look at him stare down the line. He's saying stay in here. Stay in here. There goes Moss. It's in fair territory, but it comes up a little short. Thank you.
And that will bring up Alex Gordon, who has walked and struck out tonight. He might have hit that ball just high enough that what little breeze there is knocked it down just enough to keep it in the yard.
I will agree with that. I mean, he hit it right down the line.
When you hit a bolt like the one the one Moss hit, and gale force wind wouldn't have kept that in the yard.
Yeah, for Morales, that was a high fastball in. He just got underneath it. He didn't drive it.
Now the 1-1. Good pitch. Carrasco's been able to mix it up very well and very effectively here tonight.
Yeah, it's another good start for him here in Kansas City.
Stirring in the Indians bullpen as he approaches 90 pitches tonight. Popped up foul. Brantley gives it a look, but that's going to find its way well off into the seats. Kelvin Herrera is loosening for Kansas City. He is a fireballing right-hander. He can hit the triple digits with his fastball. One-two pitch to Gordon. Hit on the ground. This is Chisenhall from the shortstop position with that shift on, and he throws him out 2 away. Time for another Mazda game break. Here's Al. All right, thanks, Al. Here is Alex Rios with 2 down and looks at a ball low and away. Gallo tonight for Texas, by the way, Rick, now 3 for 4 on the evening.
Okay.
And the Rangers are routing Chicago 11-2. But they're still only in the 7th. They're just going to the 7th inning. So
yeah, okay. So he'll get another crack at it. Mikey Pete told me he struck out with the bases loaded.
Problem is Texas isn't a real. That's not a real good triples park.
No, you're right.
Yeah, the Rangers have 11 runs on 14 hits. Samardzija started that game, gave up 9 on 12 hits and 5 innings of work.
They must remember him last year when he pitched against him with Oakland.
1-1 pitch fouled back out of play. Chop foul, third base side. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. With 2 down here in the 6th inning. And again, to go back to what Andre told us earlier, third time through the order, Carrasco has been at his best here tonight. He's retired all 6 that he's faced. And Rios pops it straight up on the infield.
Carlos, get out of the way.
He's calling for it. Now he's called off. And it's Santana that makes the catch to end the inning. Carrasco has retired 8 straight and will go to the 7th. Deadlocked at 1.
Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. My Live-In Mattress, located in all Live-In furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable.
1-1 our score as we go to the 7th. New pitcher is Kelvin Herrera. And a right-hander making his 20th appearance, a win, a loss, an ERA of an even 2 in 18 innings. Opposition is hitting a .175 against him. So
yeah, this guy is something special.
He has given up a couple of home runs. He supplies the power if you can square it up.
Well, the thing of it is, though, he's coming in to face Moss, Swisher, Chisholm, all left-handers. You know, he took the lefty out, but lefties are batting just .081 against him, 3 for 37.
Time now for our AT&T Uverse rewind. Back in the 4th inning, Brandon Moss had a tremendous at-bat against Jeremy Guthrie. 5 foul balls, 11 pitches. Fouled up the fastball, the breaking ball, anything Guthrie threw up there, until finally,
pay dirt.
Yeah.
He finally got a fastball that Guthrie left out over the plate, and that's the only run the Indians have. They only have 2 hits.
So here's Moss again. And Herrera gives up a base hit on the first pitch of the inning.
I like that.
Moss just took it the other way.
It's only the 4th hit he's given up to a left-hander this year. So it's down. It didn't sound really good, did it? It's down, and he didn't try to pull it. He just went out there, and of course it's pretty tough to pull a 95-plus mile-an-hour fastball, but he gets it, shoots it through the left side.
Nick Swisher has fouled out, fly to center. So far this year, Nick has 9 hits from each side of the plate and a homer from each side of the plate. But you've commented he doesn't seem to be able to drive the ball consistently from this side of the plate.
Yeah, he looks a little different from the left side.
Well, he's quickly in the hole here, 0-2.
You know, not only does Herrera throw 98, 99, whatever, 100, he throws it very fast. He's got a good changeup, too.
At 90.
Yeah, his changeup is faster than a lot of guys' fastballs.
Miles an hour, and that ball was moving. Looked like it was tailing away. 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, that's one. You're right. It had some move
to it.
Get a
ball to move with that kind of velocity. That's
well, unless it slides off one of his fingers differently. I don't know, but it's not easy.
There is Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 2 on the night.
I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time to make up your mind, so you better make up a decision, and you need 3 swings against this guy. You know, you can't sit back and let him get ahead of you.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, you figure you're going to get a fastball first pitch. Don't try and do too much with it. Just hopefully you put it in play and try and shorten your swing is about it.
The Brandon Moss approach. Well, and it's not like you want to lean out over the plate when a guy's throwing that hard, but
no, but
he's dotting the outside corner right now.
You know,
back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down. And so Yan Gomes to the plate. Gomes has fly to center, fly to right.
of his 9 pitches have been for strikes.
That got a pretty good chunk of Perez on that foul back. And that was, again, that ball's coming in there at close to 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's going to be just, he deflects it and it just goes, it knocks the mask right off. Yeah, look at him wincing right there. You're right. It comes in at 100 miles an hour and then it deflects off the bat. And not feel very good at all. Umpire giving him a whole lot of time to relax. Hunter Wendelstedt, they know. You know, they give that catcher a time and he'll kill time until he says, I'm okay, let's go. Let's get ready to go. He may be seeing a few stars back there.
Now, and you got 2 catchers at the plate, Gomes and Perez.
Yeah, they know what it feels like.
So Perez should be okay now and ready to resume.
He's asking me, okay? Perez shaking his head, yeah, I'm ready to go now. Thank you.
No, Yan Gomes with an 0-1 count. Runner at first, 2 down here in the 7th.
There's a change up. You know, you foul off the fastball, and then here comes a changeup, which is about 10 to 11 miles an hour slower than his fastball. Once you get started, and it has movement on it too. Boy, awfully tough.
Now the 2-strike pitch. Blew him away with a fastball at 101. Leadoff single, 3 straight strikeouts. We've reached the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World.
District with $2 Miller Lite cans. That'll take place Friday. It's June 5th. The Orioles will be in town. Buck Showalter's boys. You can get a 12-ounce Miller Lite for $2 from 5 to 7 and stay your dollar dogs and post-game fireworks. Tickets going quickly. Get them at Indians.com.
For the Royals here in the bottom of the 7th, Salvador Perez. The number 8 hitter, Omar Infante, and then Alcides Escobar. Indians get left-hander Nick Hagedorn up in the Tribe bullpen. Popped in the air. And Kipnis calls for it. The second baseman makes the grab, 1 down. This week, the Women's World Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. women's national team against the best in the world in search of their 3rd World Cup title. The only place you can see the 2015 Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning this Saturday. Omar Infante is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out twice, and both times he has really chased the slider out of the strike zone. And so Carrasco throws him another one, but Infante does not swing this time. Can't blame a guy for trying. The 1-0. Ran a fastball up and in, and Infante took a whack at that, fouls it back, and it evens the count at 1-1. 70% of Carrasco's pitches for strikes here tonight.
Yeah, he has had very good stuff.
To left field, Brantley coming in, goes to a dive and holds on to make the catch. 2 away.
Yeah, that ball got up in the strike zone, and it was enabled Infante to pull it, and it was getting down as Brantley was coming in. He knew he had it timed. He just wanted to make sure he was going to get there. He got down on the trademark a little bit, but it goes as out number 2.
And brings up Alcides Escobar, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Escobar has struck out, bounced one back to the mound and fly to left. And Carrasco with a good fastball in there for strike 1. Wade Davis now getting hot for Kansas City, as Hagedorn and Brian Shaw loosen for Cleveland. Right now it's all Carrasco as he misses to even the count at 1-1.
Kansas City on the year here. They are 8-0 in series opening games here in Kansas City.
Bang to third. Chisenhall throws out Escobar. What a night for Carlos Carrasco. He is flying along, retiring the last 11 in a row. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Carlos Carrasco has pitched a gem here tonight. He's given up 1 run. He's set down 11 Royals in a row. Meantime, on the other side, I think Kansas City's going to their third straight reliever after Jeremy Guthrie went 5 2/3. And the new pitcher will be Wade Davis, right-hander, who has been outstanding
again. You know, he has compiled 22 scoreless innings on the year. He went into the closer's role when Holland was on the disabled list earlier in the year. And Davis recorded 5 saves when he was on the DL. And I mean, you're into the best part of this bullpen now. Herrera, he struck out 3 in his inning pitch. He did give up a hit. And now Davis comes on to face Bourne, Ramirez, and Kipnis.
Bourne 0 for 2 tonight. Fly to right and line to first. Takes ball 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. And a breaking ball misses. 2-1. Perez wanted a fastball there in that count, but Davis shook him off. He wanted the breaking ball.
Wants to get a feel for that slider. Second straight year where he goes a long time without allowing runs.
That fastball fouled back. And we're even at 2-2. Try to go to the backside. But Bourne able to lay off.
And now you got to figure, okay, he's thrown the 2 sliders. They missed both times, 3-2 count. Let's see if it looks like he's coming with a slider, but I would think fastball if I'm a hitter.
Yeah, Bourne just got a piece of it.
I don't know if that was a cutter. That might have been a little cutter on the inside part of the plate is what it was.
Yeah.
Cut fastball. You know, that's about 93. His fastball is 95, 96.
And now the Express. And Bourne does a nice job to spoil it.
He sure did. That was a tough pitch, but you have to try and spoil a few pitches. And it might have been just a little bit off the plate, but you have to. It's too close to take. You can't leave the decision in the umpire's arms, especially as good as this bullpen is. So you did a nice job to foul that off and live for another pitch.
That slider missed down and away.
There you go.
And Bourne is aboard to start the 8th. As we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And on this date, back in 2010, Armando Galarraga. Perfect game? No.
Boy, do we remember that.
He was special that night, but a blown call at first by Jim Joyce, and he admitted afterwards, yeah, I kicked it. And it was a tough night for him personally. Galarraga handled it with a lot of class.
And fast forward to this year, would have been a perfect game. Would have had to review it.
Yeah, right, a good point. And it was Galarraga's one fleeting brush with fame moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he went out and he got the next guy out anyway. So you did witness a perfect game, although it wasn't. meant to be, I guess.
Just slightly flawed.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of baseball.
It was.
Yes.
By the way, Oakland beat Detroit tonight, 5-3 the final score.
All right, so Minnesota lost. Detroit lost.
White Sox are getting pounded.
And the Indians are playing their other team, so they've got to win.
Ramirez trying to get the bunt down.
And good luck. He's tried to bunt a fastball away and he missed, and that slider coming in. This guy's tough to hit, let alone bunt. Ramirez is usually a pretty good bunter. He's going to throw that. Let's see if it's a breaking ball. That cutter in. So he bunts that foul. Ramirez with 4 sacrifices on the year. It wouldn't surprise me if I see it if he tries it again. It wouldn't surprise me. They throw to first to try and get an idea if he was going to square around. But you can see Moustakas is still way in.
Well, with 2 strikes, it's also an opportunity for Davis. If he does see him score, he can throw one up and try to get him to pop it up.
Sure.
Bourne gets back. It was a fairly close play at first.
I mean, when you look at this Kansas City bullpen, and you know, you get into situations like this, I guess you have to try to bunt because Davis, the opposition, hit him just 122. So you got to try and move a runner along and hope you can get a base hit.
Oh, just missed.
Okay, he wasn't squaring around. He's got just the ball off the plate. See him moving.
No, that's a good call. Perez is set up off the plate.
Well, yes, he's just trying to get him to swing at something he couldn't hit, period. You know, he has a couple pitches to work with now that he's ahead in the count.
And slow chopper to second. They get one there. And safe is the call at first. And Ned Yost, they'll look at his replay man to see if they want to challenge. It was a very close call.
It was. He's waiting. He's looking for his replay guy to come out and say yes or no. They're on the phone. Wakamatsu into the clubhouse. It looked like from the naked eye he got him. Yeah, I think they ended up getting. They're going to challenge this. Bob Davidson, the first base umpire, called him safe. He's the crew chief, right?
No, Hunter Wendell.
Hunter is okay. But we'll see.
Again, this goes back to where we've been on a lot of these. Is there enough evidence, do you think, to overturn it?
Well, they show the replay here, and certainly all the fans.
There was definitely, you could see in Bob Davidson's reaction, there was doubt in his mind. I think he's going to be out.
He's out. I think the ball goes into the webbing before Ramirez's foot comes down. It almost like he wanted to call him out, and then he called him safe, is the way it looked. But they'll get another look at it, so to overturn it, we'll see.
Meantime, Ned Yost and his trainer, Nick Kenny, are going out to take a look at, is it Salvador Perez they're looking at, the catcher? Remember, he took a pretty good shot last inning on a foul back off the mask. And so I think they're going out to check on him to see how he's feeling, because one of the players, and it might have been Moustakas, said, hey, you might want to come out and check on him. Again, waiting on the replay. I'm surprised it's taken this long. Hunter Wendelstedt, the crew chief, on your right. Bob Davidson, who made the call at first base, on your left. Ned Yost is satisfied with whatever he got from Salvador Perez. And now Perez asking if Davis can have some warm-up tosses.
Yeah, he sure can. Well, Well, they're waiting. Why not? Kipnis is going to take a stroll back to get in front of the on-deck circle. He's tired of waiting.
I've only really seen the one replay angle, and it looked pretty convincing.
Yeah,
but there must be other angles that are less convincing, which is why we have the lengthy to the bit.
This is the one that looked like he was out right there. Looked like the ball was in his webbing before, and it was Ramirez foot was coming down onto the bag. It's a matter of inches.
Yes,
I mean, this is super slow mo, so I mean you're going frame by frame. So I mean, for the naked eye, awfully tough.
All right, here we go. The decision is safe. Wow.
Okay.
You could see Alcides Escobar mouth the words. Wow. So just not enough evidence in the mind of the replay judge in New York to overturn it.
Yeah,
and
so it stands.
Yost can't believe it.
We've seen that a lot more this year than we have last year.
So Ramirez at first with 1 out.
Well, that's good. You have some speed on the bases now.
Now can Ramirez get a jump and steal a base here?
Well, he's shorter now than he was on the last throw to first. He's about average to home plate, it looks like.
Ramirez with 8 steals. He's been caught once.
You got a guy that behind the plate that can throw. He's got a great arm and has thrown out a good percentage of base stealers this year.
Get mistakes. It's 0-2. Jason 0 for 3 tonight. Robbed of a hit way back in the first on a diving catch and left by Alex Gordon. Grounded to short in the third and then flew to left again in the sixth.
So you know, Perez behind the plate has thrown out 10 would-be base stealers this year.
Just a little bit off the plate, and it's 2-2.
Listen to the umpires in the seats. They're trying to make the calls for him.
Just a little bit outside. The 2-2. Kipnis right at the second baseman, but Infante bobbles it. They get the force at second, 2 down. That probably would have been an inning-ending double play if he fields it cleanly.
Yes, it would have been.
No, we'll see if the Indians can take advantage.
You know, once you go down to that one knee, you just want to make sure you catch the ball, and once he bobbled it, that takes the double play out of order. See, it takes a little bigger hop than he thought. That's all it takes.
Carlos Santana doubled his last time up, 1 for 3 tonight. Now low. Perez thought about a throw to first, but
yeah, you've got to be heads up if you're a base runner, because Salvador Perez will throw 2 bases to pick off runners. He does that very well. He has 14 career pickoffs on the bases.
And a breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Joey Gallo walked his last time up, by the way. They scored 4 more runs, though. They're up 15-2. Wow. They're going to the 9th. Not a bad debut for the young man from Texas. 3 for 4 with a home run. Kipnis takes off for second base, and he'll get a steal. And that'll be his 6th on the year. That is the go-ahead run in scoring position now. 3-1 count for Santana. Michael Brantley waits on deck. With the 3-man shift on the right side of the infield, a huge gap on the left side for Santana. Tries to pull it, and it's fouled. Full count.
Well, the Indians trying to do something that nobody else has been able to do, and that's get a run off Wade Davis here. Opportunities there. They're going to need a 2-out base hit by Santana. A weapon that Kansas City usually uses. A 2-out scoring. This crowd coming to their feet. They could put them down in their seats with a base hit.
Perez goes out. Can't imagine it's a case of they want to face Michael Brantley, even though they do have first base open. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball away, and he walks him. So it will give Brantley a chance to bat here in the 8th with 2 on and 2 out. I'm a little surprised that he didn't challenge him there, but.
Well, he wanted to make his perfect pitch. He couldn't do it, so now you start all over again. You're right. When you think about it, you'd much rather go at a guy that's hitting 227 than a guy that's hitting over 300.
Michael walked in the 1st. He flied to right in the 4th, flied to center in the 6th. Jason Kipnis at second base. Santana now down at 1st. And Brantley takes a strike. Lorenzo Cain shading Brantley just a bit toward right. So a sizable gap in left center field.
He wants to throw that cutter in on his hands. Tried that fastball away.
And a foul back, 1-2. This inning began with a walk to Michael Bourne. Jose Ramirez hit into what looked like a double play, but it was called safe at first. Replay was not able to overturn the call. Ramirez was forced on a fielder's choice. Kipnis then stole second. Santana walked. And now a 1-2 count on Brantley. And he fouls another one off of his own foot. Now right off the instep, looked like. He's got that batting It covers the top of his foot and the instep.
Yeah, and that's where it went off. It looked like it went off the instep. These hitters in another year or two are going to be using steel-toed boots to come up and hit in. You know, they're going to make real light ones where they can run in them too. There's many guys that foul it off nowadays.
Brantley fouls it away. Another good battle. Wade Davis has made 28 pitches in the inning. Here we go, the set on the 1-2 pitch. Brantley shatters the bat, fouls it off right side. Now he goes for a two-tone model. Still a big chunk of that bat over there on the right side of the batter's box. There it is. Now the bat boy spots it. He's going to do his job and clean it up.
Coming for a big toothpick.
Yeah, for Sasquatch maybe. There hasn't exactly been a lot of action in this inning, but it's been very tense in a 1-1 score. 1-2. Brantley with a line drive, base hit into center field. Kipnis coming around third. Kane has no play at home, and the Indians take the lead. Michael Brantley with a 2-out RBI single to center field, his 31st RBI on the year, scoring Jason Kipnis, and the Indians go up 2-1 as Wade Davis gives up his first run of the season.
And it came on a breaking ball, middle of the plate. Right back up the middle. Michael Brantley gets that new bat, and that's the one he wanted. The one with the base hit in it. Not a good pitch by Davis, staying middle of the plate. Kipnis on second. He's going to score easily with 2 outs. The Indians take a 2-1 lead. Another big hit for Michael Brantley.
That was a heck of a bat, too.
Yes, it was.
There's Brandon Moss, and he clobbers one to run. Oh, what a play by Hosmer, but he has no play. That was a sensational defensive play by Hosmer that at the very least saves Kansas City a run.
Yeah, it sure does with 2 outs, and Davis was a bystander. He was watching. Tremendous catch by Hosmer. Watch Davis. He's watching it, thinking that ball was hit too hard. But you know what? He was late. He was a bystander. So the inning continues. Look at this scoop. Oh my goodness. He just threw his glove out there and it went in. He realized that Davis wasn't going to get there. Watch Davis. 1, 2, 3. He was 3 steps late. He was a bystander. Now the bases are loaded and a big chance for the Indians to put a hurting on Wade Davis.
Base hit for Moss. Well, Nick Swisher 0 for 3 on the night. But a big opportunity to do some damage here. And it's fouled off. 0-1. Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wade Davis he's struggled in this inning. 33 pitches. He has 2 walks, and you think about the play at first base, the Ramirez challenge.
Well, not only that, Rick, but right after that, the ball Kipnis hit that was bobbled by Infante.
And a double play that was not turned.
So they had a chance to get their double play even after the replay went against them.
And that happens, boy. We see it from a lot of teams. A double play that's not turned can come back and bite you. And boy, it has in this inning for Kansas City. Good for the Indians. They take the lead.
And with the bases loaded, a 1-ball, 2-strike count for Nick Swisher. And it's outside, 2-2.
You know, you look at that pitch count piling up here in this inning, which is, it's good for the Indians because you got 2 more games to go in the series. You'd like to sort of eliminate this guy for 1 more of those games if you could.
And the 2-2. Low, full count. Wow. Now he's 1 more. Wild one away from walking in a run here, potentially. He's walked 2 in the inning. The leadoff man Bourne, and then he walks Santana, who's now at third base. And the payoff pitch, fouled away. Always thought that's kind of a tough spot to be in when you're the guy at third on a 2-out 3-2 situation. You've got to start running towards home plate.
No, you run.
You better
in foul
run wide.
Well, you know what? You may want to stay on the line here because this guy throws pretty hard.
It's kind of counterintuitive to run at the hitter.
Yeah, when you know he's got a good chance he's going to be swinging.
Again, the runners are off on the 3-2 pitch, and it's chopped to first. And Hosmer will take it himself to end the inning. Drive leaves him loaded, but Michael Brantley delivers in the clutch, putting the Indians in front 2-1. Kansas City, Indians up 2-1, and we invite you to stay tuned after the game for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Nick Hagedorn on now for the Indians. Hagedorn's 24th appearance of the year. No wins, a loss, an ERA of 3.86. He was some kind of spectacular in Seattle.
Well, he'll get a lefty, righty, lefty to this inning. It's Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer.
Upstairs, ball 1. Carlos Carrasco went 7 through 104 pitches. Struck out 8, walked 2. Threw it right by him, and it's 1-1. Moustakas singled and scored the Royals' only run back in the 3rd. All the way to the backstop. In fact, after Hosmer's 2-out RBI single, Carlos Carrasco retired 13 out of the next 15, including the last 11 in a row, before Terry Francona decided to make the move to the bullpen for Hagedorn here in the 8th.
Yeah, I think they waited till they scored that run before they took Carrasco out. I didn't see him say anything to Carrasco prior to that.
Well, he had the jacket on, and he looked like he was ready to go back out there. Fouled back 2-2. Again, that's one of those feel moves a manager has to make during a game. Do you stay with your starter? He's just over the 100 pitch mark. He had retired, as I said, 11 straight. But Terry felt that Carrasco had done his job, and once they got him the lead, turn it over to his pen. Now the 2-2. And a foul back by Moustakas. Got Brian Shaw getting loose, and also I believe Mark Zipchinski.
I wonder if he's going to match up. Go Shaw to the righty and then Zipchinski for the lefty. We'll see.
The 2-2.
We need to get that first out here.
That's out of play. Nick Hagedorn. Pretty good at bat for Moustakas to this point. 2-2. Hit deep down the right line, but foul. Moustakas never left his toe hold, so he knew it was not going to come back into fair territory.
Right.
Foul the whole way.
He knew it. Hitters know it. He got the barrel head of the bat out in front. He knew it was going foul.
Breaking ball, and he just rolls over on one. Kipnis throws him out, 1 away. And it looks like we're going to go Army baseball here in the 8th. Left, right, left. Timeout for a pitching change. Brian Shaw is coming on when we come back. The greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for the U.S. Open Championship. The 115th from Chambers Bay Golf Course begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1 Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Brian Shaw will pitch for the Indians now. 25th time he's been called upon this year. Tied for the team lead. No wins, a loss, ERA .265, and he's got Lorenzo Cain, who is 1 for 3 on the night. And it would appear, the way Frank Cona manages, it's a one-shot deal. He's got Cain, and then Zipchinski will come on to face Hosmer.
That's what you're looking at.
And slider low and away, ball 1.
The Indians bullpen did a tremendous job Sunday in that ball game at Seattle. 6 2/3 scoreless of one-hit ball. And in the 4-game series, 13 1/3 innings, 7 hits, just the 1 run, and 5 walks, 13 punch-outs. So that's what he's looking for. Everybody match up. Everybody do your job. You do your job. Everything looks good. It's when the manager goes to that bullpen, you rely on your guys to do the job. They don't do it, it looks bad. But it could be a thing of beauty. If it works the way he's anticipating, he gets 3 pitchers to get 3 outs, and you bring Shaw in for a save in the 9th. Or Allen, I'm sorry.
No 1-1. Wow. Close, but didn't get the call. 2-1. Yeah, it was low. And the 2-1 offering. Ran it in on his thumbs, and it's fouled back. 2-2. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count for Cain. They try to get him to chase, but nothing doing. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Out of play on the right side. Lorenzo Cain started the year with a career best 10-game hitting streak, and then batted .329 for the month of April. Two fouled back.
Well, that was like a little check swing that caught his bat.
He went through a little bit of a dry spell in the month of May. He had an RBI in their just completed series against the Cubs. It was his first since he had a 5 RBI performance against the Yankees on May 15th.
Wow. When you're hitting in the number 3 hole, that's quite a drought.
Yeah. There's the 3-2. Out of play again to the right. Ryan Shaw looks in, shaking off. 9th pitch of the at-bat. And he got him with a fastball. Cain got caught looking. 2 down in the inning as Shaw strikes him out. And Terry Francona will once again go back to his bullpen. But first, I'll look back.
Looks like Kane was looking for something away. It was a fastball inside. Dots the inside corner. Excellent pitch. Back goes Francona. In comes Zipchinski. So first 2. 2 up, 2 down.
Nick Hagedorn, Brian Shaw, each retiring their respective batter here in the inning. And now we'll see if the Indians can make it 3 for 3 as Mark Zipchinski comes on to face left-handed hitting Eric Hosmer. He might have the toughest task of the 3 because Hosmer has been a handful for opposing pitchers this year. He's 1 for 3, had a 2-out RBI single in the 3rd. And he's been one of the best American League hitters at home this year, 8th in the league, batting here at Kauffman Stadium. Tell you what else is interesting about Hosmer as he takes a look at a ball to even the count. Since the start of 2013, so you're going back a couple of years now, he is leading all of Major League Baseball in batting average after the 7th inning.
Clutch.
320 mark.
He's a good player. He can do it all. You witnessed it tonight with a couple of plays he made at first base defensively. He settles in, and you know they expected this guy to come around offensively for a number of years. It took him a little while, but he's off to a nice start this year.
The 2-1 pitch, and he was ready to tee off, but fouled it back, and the count evens at 2-2. Swung out and missed. He got him to chase one, and Zipchinski strikes him out to end the inning. So the Indians use 3 pitchers to get 3 outs, and the Royals go 1, 2, 3. play of the game. Let's go back to that 8th inning. Jose Ramirez grounded into what looked like it might be a double play, but Bob Davidson called him safe. Ned Yost went to the replay review, and the call stands. So the Indians avoided the double play. Next guy up, Jason Kipnis. Double play ball, but Infante kicks it. They get the force, but instead of being out of the inning, the Indians keep it alive. And then after a walk to Santana, Brantley delivers the RBI single with 2 outs that puts the Indians in front.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable got the base hit with 2 outs, gives them the lead. They ended up leaving the bases loaded that inning, but they still got pushed the go-ahead run aboard as Luke Hochevar now comes into the ball game.
Hochevar trying to regain the form that made him so dominant a couple of years ago. And Salvador Perez out of the game now as Drew Butera takes over. You have to believe, Rick, that's related to that foul ball, that wicked foul ball that
you would think so.
Caught him square in the mask when Herrera was chucking it up there at about 100 miles an hour.
Certainly have to think so.
It was a Yan Gomes foul that he just tipped it right back square into the mask. And Perez, he needed a good couple of minutes just to stay in the game at that point. Fouled back by Lonnie Chisenhall.
It knocked the mask right off of Perez's head right here. Watch this. Boom. Looks down, and that's.
It doesn't look like much on the replay, but you have to imagine at 100 miles an hour what that must have felt like, even with the mask on. Broke his bat. Will it drop? Long run in for Rios, and he drops the ball. And Lonnie's just going to keep on chugging right into second base.
Yeah, Rios had an opportunity to catch it, and he didn't slide. He just came running in. He thought he was going to get there, and it goes off his glove. So there you'll see the pitch away. It jammed him. In comes Rios, and it goes off his glove. I would imagine it's going to be a double.
Yeah, it is a double, and he didn't really drop it. I thought initially that he had it in the glove, and then he never really got it.
It was a long way. That's why you see a lot of guys that come in will try and slide for that ball on the run or dive for it. He didn't. He chose to try and run through it, which I don't disagree with. It's just that it went off the end of the glove.
Now Yan Gomes 0 for 3 on the night. Gomes trying to get him over the third here. He might be looking at it altogether differently, saying, I'm just going to get him home myself.
Well, you want to get him over. There's no doubt about it. You don't have to bunt over. You shoot it to the right side. Gomes can go to the right side easily.
Got a big hole on the right side of the infield. Should he choose to try that method?
Gomes is not a bunter anyway, I don't think so. Not the pitch you want to try and go to the right side with, though, because he's going to need a new piece of lumber. You know, when you sit down and you break it down, you think about it. The first pitch was a fastball down and away. That's a pitch that you would look for to put it that way. He took. Then you try and hit a ball that's inside that you can't go to the right side. That's what makes you think, you know, what's your plan up there now? What are you thinking? Right now, it's not thinking. It's putting the ball in play.
Yeah, now the planning kind of goes out the window. Now it's survive mode. 1-2 pitch from Hochevar. And Gomes, little flare to second. 1 away. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Michael Bourne, the batter, is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. That led off the 8th inning. And that started the events that led to the Indians' go-ahead run. And a big curveball in for a strike. Jose Ramirez waits on deck.
Yeah, but I see David Murphy lurking down in the dugout with a bat in his hand, so I would not be surprised to see him pinch hit for Ramirez, and now he's making his way out of the dugout. So
Bourne takes the strike. It's 1-2. Down low. Now the 2-2. Bouncing ball to first. Hosmer backed up on it and makes the play. He went into a really defensive posture that time, but he was able to make the play, and there are 2 down in the inning, and now we'll get the pinch hitter Murphy for Ramirez.
You know, anytime you get a play like that, Matt, once you have to wait for that second hop, you end up going back on your heels, and you are in a defensive position. How many times you see third baseman, if they have to wait back and go back on the ball, it's always an in-between hop. But there are some plays you go out there that you just can't charge. You know, you've got that another run in scoring position. You got to at least make sure you get it. You can't make that tough of a play, but he made it. 3-1, and now Murph's up pinch hitting.
Well, he's been some kind of pinch hitter this year for the Indians.
Yes, he has.
6 for 16 with a couple of homers and 4 runs.
I'll tell you the
batted
truth. I was a little surprised the way he's been playing, that he wasn't in the lineup today. The way he's been swinging the bat off a right-hander Guthrie, because you got a left-hander tomorrow pitching. I thought we'd see Murph in there today.
Well, he told Andre before the ball game that he knows this is his role now, and he accepts it. He understands it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's embraced it, knows what he has to do every day, so that when his name is called in these late inning situations, he's ready.
He's a professional. He's ready. You're right.
Lifted to left. And Gordon will make the catch to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Cody Allen will try to close it out when we come back. Get to Guthrie early. The Indians had a tough time getting to him, period. But they got a solo home run from Brandon Moss in his 5 2/3 inning. Carrasco against Moose and Haas. Well,
Mousas. Yeah.
Moustakas scored the only run, and Hosmer drove him in. But that was it.
You're right. It was and a wild pitch has put him in the scoring position. You know, you got a big 2-out base hit, but it's a great game right now. And right now it's up to Cody Allen to see if he can come on and get the save.
Looking for his 12th of the year. And he's got Kendry Morales, Alex Gordon, and Alex Rios due up. And those numbers that Gordon has against him are scary. Mike Aviles takes over at shortstop for Jose Ramirez after they pinch hit for him. Tribe will open bottom of the ninth with a shift on. Kendry Morales doubled in the second inning to lead off that frame. Since then he has struck out Flydow. Goes after the first pitch and a foul back.
Indians trying to do something that no other team's been able to do here in Kansas City, is beat the Royals the first game of a series.
Well, they've only lost 7 all year so far at home. 17-7 at home this year. Only the Twins have a better home record than the Royals. Who would have thought that? You'd be saying that on June the 2nd.
You have to protect your home. The Indians have played very well on the road this year.
Tribe has one of the best. In fact, they're tied for the best road record in the division.
You know, 14-12, looking for their 15th win. You got to protect home field advantage, but you have to play better. But they're turning it around. This is a divisional game. You certainly want to win every one. They struggled in the month of April.
The 0-2.
Nice.
Got him looking. Cody Allen just took care of Kendry Morales on 3 pitches.
Well, that's out of the bullpen, the last 4 pitches, they have 3 strikeouts. Hagedorn got his job done, and then you come in, you had Shaw getting a strikeout, Zabchinski getting one, and now Cody Allen retiring the leadoff hitter Morales on a strikeout. 11
strikeouts in all for Indians pitching tonight. They have retired the last 14 Royals in a row. 15 now. Wait a minute, I lost track here. 11. Yeah, 15 in a row.
You got it. You got it. That is correct.
And Gordon had glanced off the bat.
Sure
he wasn't even
did.
trying to swing at it.
You know, that was weird. It looked like. Did this ball hit the dirt? Watch this. It goes out in front of the plate, and then it catches his bat. Cricket.
You look at him throw his hand up like, oh, how in the world did I just do that?
That ball was in the dirt. You're right, and it bounces up and hits his bat. That's a good sign.
Cody with the 0-2. Why not try it again? The 1-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with a nasty slider down and in. And that's 4 straight Royals hitters who have struck out.
I'll tell you what, Cody has a good hook tonight. This one, he starts it in the zone, and you can see Gordon comes up empty. He caught a break with that one that bounced, got strike 2, but now it's 4 straight strikeouts by the bullpen for the Indians. And they're ready to put this one away. He needs 1 more to go. Alex Rios.
Rios 0 for 2 with a walk. Bouncing ball to third. Chisenhall fields it.
What a nice job. The
throws him out.
did.
And the Indians win the series opener here in Kansas City. Cody Allen with a 1-2-3 ninth inning to notch his 12th save of the year. And the Indians have moved to within 1 game of the 500 mark, as they are now 25-26 on the year. And the Indians are now just 5.5 games out of first place in the American League Central Division. With the loss, Kansas City goes to 29-20. Winning pitcher Carlos Carrasco, he's 7-4. The loser is Wade Davis, who goes to 2-1 on the season. 30,361 here at Kauffman Stadium tonight.